Here's something that'll blow your mind. Wallace D. Wattles wrote the most influential wealth-building book of the 20th century while he was broke. Not just struggling, actually poor. Yet somehow, this man discovered a mental formula so powerful that it would later influence everyone from Napoleon Hill to Rhonda Byrne. But here's what nobody talks about. Wattles wasn't just ahead of his time with money advice. He was accidentally describing brain science that wouldn't be discovered for another 100 years. What did this forgotten philosopher figure out in 1910 that modern neuroscience is only now proving? And why do most people completely misunderstand his most important principle? Stick around, because what you're about to learn could completely change how you think about creating wealth. The substance revolution. Wattles made a radical claim that shocked people in 1910. Wealth doesn't come from competition or taking from others. Instead, he said all riches flow from what he called thinking substance, an infinite source that responds to our thoughts and creates new wealth rather than redistributing old wealth. Sounds mystical, right? But here's the fascinating part. Wattles was describing something that quantum physics would later discover. Modern science now knows that at the quantum level, particles literally respond to observation and intention. Wattles somehow intuited that the universe operates more like consciousness than a machine, decades before scientists had any clue. The gratitude before receipt formula. Now here's where Wattles gets really interesting. He didn't just say, be grateful for what you have. He said something much more counterintuitive. Feel genuine gratitude for wealth before you actually receive it. Most people think this is just positive thinking nonsense. But modern neuroscience reveals why this works. When you feel genuine gratitude, your brain releases dopamine and activates the same neural pathways as actually receiving a reward. Dr. Robert Emmons at UC Davis has shown that gratitude literally rewires the brain's reward system, making you more likely to notice and act on opportunities. Wattles discovered this brain hack over a century ago. He wrote that gratitude puts you in harmonious relation with the good in everything, essentially training your brain to spot wealth-creating possibilities everywhere. The efficient action principle. But Wattles wasn't just about mental work. He emphasized what he called efficient action. And this is where most people get it wrong. They think he meant work harder. Actually, he meant the opposite. Wattles observed that most people scatter their energy across too many activities. Instead, he advocated for what modern psychology calls flow states, focused, effortless action aligned with a clear purpose. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi's research confirms that people achieve extraordinary results when they combine clear intention with focused action, exactly what Wattles prescribed. Think about Andrew Carnegie. He didn't try to master every aspect of steel production. He focused solely on organization and left the technical details to specialists. That's efficient action, maximum result from minimum scattered effort. The visualization trap. Here's where Wattles gets really smart and where most modern interpretations go wrong. He warned against what he called competitive mind, trying to get wealthy by taking from others or by wishful thinking alone. Wattles distinguished between creative visualization and fantasy. Creative visualization involves seeing yourself performing specific actions that create value. Fantasy is just daydreaming about outcomes without the connecting actions. Henry Ford exemplified this perfectly. He didn't just dream about cars, he visualized the entire production process, then took the efficient actions to make it real. That's the Wattles method. Clear mental picture plus aligned action equals inevitable result. Let me repeat this crucial point because it's where most people stumble. Wattles said wealth comes from creation, not competition. Modern economics calls this positive sum thinking, growing the pie rather than fighting over pieces. When you approach wealth this way, you're not taking from anyone, you're adding value to the world. Real-world applications. So how do you actually apply Wattles' principles today? First, develop what he called certain way of thinking. This means training your mind to see abundance rather than scarcity everywhere you look. Thomas Edison exemplifies this perfectly with his approach to invention. Most people saw the gaslighting industry as established and unchangeable, but Edison envisioned electric illumination where none existed. He didn't compete with gas companies. he created an entirely new industry that eventually made gaslighting obsolete. That's Wattles' thinking substance in action, using creative thought to bring new value into existence where none existed before. Second, practice gratitude for your intended wealth daily. Not desperate wanting, but genuine appreciation as if it's already flowing toward you. This primes your brain's pattern recognition system to spot opportunities others miss. Third, take what Wattles called every possible action in the present moment while holding your wealth vision clearly in mind. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Act efficiently on what's available right now. Remember, Wattles discovered that wealth flows from an infinite source, not a limited pie. The more value you create through aligned thought and action, the more wealth flows not just to you, but through you to others. That's why his principles still work today. They're based on creation, not competition. Modern neuroscience validates everything Wattles intuited. Gratitude rewires your brain, clear visualization activates goal-seeking behaviors, and focused action creates momentum. The man was literally describing the science of achievement before anyone knew it was science. Wattles proved that wealth isn't about luck, connections, or even starting capital. It's about aligning your mental patterns with universal principles that govern how value gets created. Master that alignment, and wealth becomes not just possible, but inevitable. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next video.